Hey guys, Jason here. I wanted to do a review specifically on my Sunsun 303B canister filter. If you guys watched some of my past last couple videos, it's on about setting up my 40-gallon breeder, and I do show this filter, but I didn't really go into detail about it. I want to do an actual review on just this filter. We'll open it up, show you how it works and everything. So my tank's been up and running for about a week and a half now. Which maybe isn't a long enough time to maybe do a review, but on certain products there's no reason to really do an unboxing review of this. I mean, it comes in a box. Okay, you take it out, you put it together. I'll show you how to put it together, but for something like this, you want to do a review after it's been running for a while. So, like I said, this is the 303B. Made by Sunsun. I paid $65 on Amazon, free shipping, and the only thing it came with was 3 filter pads, which I think I can't get at it right now. I'll show you when I open it up. Came with 3 filter pads. There's another one you can buy that comes with the filter pads, I think carbon and some biomedia. That one costs a little bit more. I didn't need that because I was just using my lava rock, my biomedia that was from my other tank. I was going to transfer it, so there was no need for me to get the one with the media. If you're setting up a brand new tank, hey, go for the bigger one and get the media that comes with it. So let me zoom in here and we'll talk a little bit about this first, and then we'll go. I'm going to open it up. I want to open it up and clean it today and see how it's been doing after a week and a half, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, we'll try to do a close-up look at it right now. I know it's a little bit dark in this video. I'll try to adjust the brightness, make it a little bit brighter, but I can't get this any brighter. So here's the intake and outtake of your hose line. This is the switch for your ultraviolet light, which I'll talk about that once we get to the sink. It's a little bit brighter, I can show you a little bit more. And here's your siphon pump to kind of get it going. This is your bucket, obviously. Your top, you've got 4 clamps, one here, here. I put this in a tray. It doesn't come with a tray. I put that in there just in case it leaks. If I'm at work or something, I don't have that going all over my cabinet and all over the floor. It hasn't leaked, so I have no problems, but just in case, it's always a good idea to have a little Tupperware or something there. This does come with these green hoses. A lot of people didn't like them. I think they're kind of cool. It's definitely better than the black ribbed hoses that I see on some of the other canister filters. They're really cheap. These allow for a lot smoother water flow. And these hoses are about, I don't remember the length, I think they're about, each one of them 6 feet long. You get a lot of it. But they come curled up, and it takes a while to, I kind of laid them out straight and stretched them out and held them by some stuff to kind of help them get a little bit straight, because they'll just stay curled up. And you guys, I'll go over the how I have this set up inside the tank at the end of the video. You can, if this is the first time you're watching this video, I'll show you how I have this all ran into the tank at the end. So for now, I'm going to go clean this. So what the first thing you're going to do, obviously unplug it. Alright, I just unplugged it. I don't know if you heard it gurgle. And what they give you is this nice little switch right here, which you're going to lift up. And that allows you to take out this entire, both intake and outtake, and it cuts the water, so the water is still in your intake and outtake hoses. I really like that, because when you put this back together, you don't really have to fill them back up. They're probably going to drain out a little bit, but this will help with your siphon system once you restart it. So so we're going to take the canister over to the sink. I cannot carry it and the camera at the same time, so I'll meet you over there. Okay guys, we got this over here by the sink. I will try to show you a couple things here. This is the the ultraviolet light switch I was talking about. This plastic cover comes right off, and you got your on and off switch right here. and this is actually covered by some soft plastic to keep it waterproofed. The ultraviolet light is used for killing things in the water that cause algae, and I think it works pretty good. Whenever you turn it on, this light will light up blue, let you know the light's on. I heard in a couple of videos that these lights tend to burn out a lot, and this one guy just turns it on maybe for 24 hours on the weekend just to save the bulb life, and that's all it takes to kill the algae. So that's what I've been doing for the last week and a half, and I think it's been working. These are the two inlets, intake and outtake. Nothing special there. Here's your siphon. Alright, we're going to open this up, and what you're going to do is just first take off these side clamps. These do kind of fall off easy, the plastic piece and the little metal hinge, I guess, and some people were complaining about it, but I actually think that's a good thing. They'll fall apart before they break. So, you know, you don't want these to break, so if they fall apart on you, you can at least put them back together. And then you get two, these are the two clamps that mainly actually suck it and hold it down. And we're going to open this up. You always want to be careful taking this out because you do have your UV light in there. And you're going to have some water falling out. So do this by the sink, obviously. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's your UV light. See if I can get in here a little bit closer. That's the UV light right there. Looks like it's got some condensation on the inside of it. Hopefully that doesn't matter. This is your impeller. This is where the water gets sucked out back into your tank. And when I first opened this up, I was looking around and like, where the heck does the water go into the canister? It comes in from around the UV light. There's couple of open ports in here that took me a long time to figure out. This is where the water comes in because the UV light sits down in that hole, and that's where the water goes all the way down underneath, and we'll show you that. But just showing you what this looks like underneath. So on the very top you have just this top grate that's going to hold everything down. And try to remember which way you put all these in, because when you put this back on top, I'll show you that when we're done, when we put this back together. Here's the top grate. This just holds everything down. You take that out. And then here's the top one. This is all my biomedia. It's all lava rock. And I think I'm going to end up putting this on the bottom. I want to try something. So here's the lava rock. I want to do this as soon as possible because I don't want this to dry out and kill all the bacteria. Here's all the filter floss. And we'll take these out. I'm going to put this in the sink. So here's the bottom. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. This is it's pretty dirty. Here's the clean side, somewhat clean. So this is doing a good job of trapping stuff. It's not that dirty. It's dirty, but it's not that bad after a week and a half. Yeah, I mean, this can definitely go a couple months without cleaning it, or maybe a month. And then there is one more basket. So you've got 3 baskets, one for your filter floss, your mechanical filtration, one for your bio, and one for if you want to put carbon or just put more biomedia. So you get 3 of the big trays, and then you got one of the one that goes on top that just holds everything down and keeps. And inside of here, boy, is it pretty disgusting. And I don't want to get rid of this water, so I'm just going to use my net and try to clean out as much as I can. I don't want to get rid of that water. Alright, we're going to put this back together. I don't want my biomedia to dry out. So here's both the pads that I have cleaned the best I could. If you have fish tanks before, you know you don't ever clean your biomedia. You only clean the filter pads. Don't ever clean this. Don't ever run tap water over it, nothing. If you ever clean this, you make sure that this either stays wet, you clean it fast enough to put it back in, or make sure you submerge your biomedia in tank water. Do not ever run regular tap water. You will kill all the bacteria and could spike your tank. So we're just going to put this back. This is the filter pads, which I think I might end up having to make my own. I'll probably end up making my own filter pads. These don't seal all that well, but they work all right. So I'm going to put this in first. The water from the tank goes down all the way to the bottom of the canister, and then it comes up. So you want your filter floss at the bottom or in your first tray. I'm going to let that just sit there, and then I'm going to put the biomedia back in. And that's just going to go all the way down. And then we're going to put the last tray on top with nothing in it. And then the very last tray. Now this is not the way it came out. I had the empty tray on the bottom, and then the filter floss, and then the biomedia. Now I'm putting the filter floss at the bottom, the biomedia on top, and then the empty tray on top. And the reason I'm doing that, I'm having a problem with this thing sucking in air and spewing bubbles into my tank. I've tried Vaselining all the seals, and it just keeps doing. It's still working. It's still filtering water, and it's working great, but it keeps sucking in air somehow. So this is just another test I'm going to do to see if I got all my media at the bottom and then I got a bunch of full water at top. Maybe that'll help eliminate a lot of the bubbles. Maybe because of the biomedia was so close. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to try it. So like I said, when we took this apart, make sure when you put these grates back in, you put it in the same spot with the hole, because that's where your UV light is going to go when you put this back. So that's pretty much the cleaning. There's not much you have to do. You take out your trays, clean your filter floss. You can dump all the water out if you want, but you're going to have to pour tank water back in. I'm not even going to dump that water out. It's not that big of a deal. It wasn't that dirty. I just used my net, because when you put your biomedia back in there, you got to have tank water in there. So really not that big of a deal. But also depends on how many fish you have. I just got a male and female convict with some fry. So the tank's not that dirty. So we're going to put this back together. You know what? Oh, crap. Alright. Press it down as much as you can. Oops, actually I think I do need to, no, I don't think I need to put more water in there. That'll be alright. And I have gotten water all over the place. And that's it. We will go put this back and hook it up, and then we'll talk about a few things. Okay guys, now I'm trying to angle this camera at a certain spot. This little gray hose right there, that's the outtake. That's where the water is going to come back into the tank, and you're probably going to see it explode with bubbles. So we're going to make sure when you put this back, you do not plug it in yet. Don't plug it in. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our whole intake and outtake system right here, and what you're going to do is just press it back on and flip that same lever down, and that's it. Then you're going to turn it on, and then you're going to actually, you can siphon it now, and this is actually going to feed water into your canister. So I was wrong. Don't turn it on yet. You're going to press this down, and you're going to siphon this until you basically get filled up. And you'll see the water in the hoses. Then you're going to plug it in. There it goes. And you can see it's getting all the air out of the canister filter. And it's going to cloud up my tank a little bit, like I said, because I kept the same water in there. And there's one little trick I like to do, I learned from watching a couple of other videos, is once you start this up like this, if you have a lot of air pockets or bubbles in there and your canister filter is level, most of these bubbles are going to be underneath the head. They're not going to move anywhere. So in order to get a lot of the air out, what you're going to do is slowly tip your canister. Oh, you can see, now you can hear it. You're getting more air out of it. Like I said, I just tip it back and forth a little bit. And that'll help get air out. I think we got most of it out. And now that I cleaned it, the impeller is a little bit louder, but it is, overall, it's pretty quiet. And I'll see if I can show you. Let me see if I can get over here, zoom this in. Move these lights. Alright, can you guys see here? I mean, that's quite a flow of water coming out there. And I want to talk about that real quick. Okay, I want to show you guys something about some of the tubing, which I have not shown yet. Some of this tubing that comes with this canister unit, and I'm not going to really talk too much about this other than the fact that it's junk. You can see how small and thin this is compared to the tubing that comes with it. What you're doing is restricting your water flow. And let me show you a little comparison here. Hopefully you guys can see the difference. Whoa. I'm trying to hold this up so you guys can see the difference in the size of these holes. I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't see the back of my camera, but this hole, this is literally half the size of the opening of the one that I put on there, and this makes a huge freaking difference as far as the water flow. This canister, the 303B, is rated at I believe it was 370 gallons per hour. Well, you stick these stupid things on that, and you're going to restrict that water flow in half. Also, these hoses come about 6 feet, and a lot of people put their canister filters on the floor. I get that. It's convenient. They want it out of the way. The reason I put mine here, almost at the level, it's probably about 3 or 4 inches lower than my tank, was to eliminate as much hose as possible. This is the intake into the tank, and there's only about a foot of hose, as opposed to this being on the floor and having 3 feet of hose. And what that's doing is it's making it harder for the canister to pump the water up, and that is making less water flow. The way I have this set up right now, I'm getting about the maximum water flow you can possibly get out of this thing. I only have 2 filter pads in there. I only have 1 tray of media. I have this up here, and I'll show you this a little bit better. Alright, here's a better look. I don't know if you guys saw that before. This is the difference in sizes. The black one is the tube that comes with this canister, and the gray one is the one I bought at the hardware store and slips over the outside. Oh, there goes my convicts. They're not liking me. Okay, also along with that, this is, I believe, a part of the intake. I mean, the intake is not bad, but there again, because it's so small, you're reducing water flow. Here's the intake that I made. Let me see if I can slip this down inside. There. You can see the difference in size right there. It's just, The green hoses that this comes with is really good, but these black tubings that come with it is absolutely freaking ridiculous. So I highly recommend something like this. I mean, this piece of pipe that I bought cost me $7 for the pipe, the cap, and the top inlet that the green hose fit over. And then this gray one that slipped on over was only 80 cents. So you're only talking, I mean, maybe another 10 bucks in tubing. It is far worth it to get more water flow than using this crap. This is crap. I don't even want, it's junk. I don't even know why they put it in there. But other than that, the canister works great. I thought I was going to need another filter. I wasn't sure if it was going to be enough. When I fully set this up and did a test, this is actually pumping only around 240, 250 gallons per hour, not the full 370. So you have to keep in mind when it says it's 370 gallons per hour, that's free flow. That's just what that's what the pump will do, free flow. That's not what it's going to do when you have it hooked up in your tank and you have all your media and stuff in your canister. So the very first time I did a test on this, and I used like all 12 feet of the hose and it was all spiraled in a cooler, I was only getting 180 gallons per hour because the pump was having to work really hard to pump water through a spiral of hose and then suck it back out through a spiral. So once I hooked this up, as you can see, let me see. Like I said, about 4 inches down from the tank, using as little hose as possible, almost going horizontal, I'm getting about 250 gallons an hour, and my tank is staying pretty clear. My fish are happy. I tested my water yesterday. It's perfect. There's practically zero ammonia, zero nitrates, nitrites, all that crap. The water is good. So the filter's working. Like I said, I'm not going to do a crazy unboxing. You know, boxes don't matter. How it performs is what matters. This comes in a box. I believe it has basically a diagram view of how to hook it together on the outside of the box in one sheet. These intake and outtakes, you just slip the green hose over it, and then this turns and crimps them down so they don't leak. And that's it. I showed you how to flip this up. This comes off. It doesn't leak any water out. All 4 of these clamps open this, take it to the sink, clean it out. Then here's your siphon, your switch for the, as you can see, you turn that on. That's how you know your ultraviolet light is on. And I had it on for all last weekend. I don't need it on right now. I don't know if you can hear that. It's making a slight noise with the impeller because I just cleaned it, but other than that, it's very, very quiet. So if you purchase one of these, well, in case you guys don't know, this is a 40-gallon breeder. This is the Sunsun 303B on a 40-gallon breeder. That's the only filter I have hooked up to this. I've got a male and female convict in there with fry, and everything is working really good. It's perfect. So just just giving you guys the specs on that of what I have going here. So if you're wondering what size tank to put it on, I don't know if I would use this on anything bigger. It'd probably work on a 55, but I wouldn't use this on anything bigger. And the only reason I would use it on a 55 is because a 55 is not as deep. A 55 will come back almost probably 3 or 4 inches. So you're going to have a different kind of water flow going. The other thing I have on here is an $8 submersible pump from Amazon that pumps 180 gallons an hour. That's what I have right here. And this is just helps circulate the water in the tank and break up the surface so you don't get any protein buildup. And so I've never done that before, and this is working really good. It's really circulating the water. There's no dead zones in my tank at all. So I think I covered about everything. I don't know what else to say about it. Yeah, I would so far the only issue I've had with this is it's sucking in air somehow a little bit, and it's not much. It doesn't happen all the time. If I tip this, oh, see, there goes a little bit. Somehow it's sucking in some air. I'm not sure where or how. Obviously there's got to be some sort of leak in the seals, but other than that, I mean, it's still filtering, the water is still going. I don't know, maybe there's something I've done that's wrong that's allowing it to suck in air. I have no idea what, but other than that, I'm really happy with it. I mean, it's not leaking water. It is filtering a lot of water, enough water. I mean, it's doing its job. So, I mean, for 65 bucks, you can't complain. I mean, you go to PetSmart, you're gonna spend $200 to $300 for one. So for $65, you know, you get what you pay for. So that's the review. If there's anything, if you guys have any other questions about this, leave your questions or comments in the comments section, and I will try to answer them. I tried to cover as much as I could. But the one thing I highly recommend, adding your own tubing to not restrict any water flow. Do not use those black pipes. I've seen them on videos, guys use them. I mean, it works, but in my opinion, I would say don't use it. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the views. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a good one.